That's the one. Okay. Who wants to do a bit of recapping?
I can barely remember what happened. Just to be completely honest.
I felt like a lot happened and not a lot happened.
Yeah.
I'm
eating chocolate pizza.
I think the Time Wizard probably has a good memory.
Yeah.
I can do
Time
some recapping.
Wizard.
I can't do recapping.
You go back in time and rewatch what just happened.
What did happen? So yeah, it was the same session. Visit to Forge. Yeah, that was this.
Yeah.
Yeah, Christ.
Yeah,
So,
we went to Forge and then we went to meet up with Rosh afterwards. And then
So-
Mr. Rick appeared.
yeah. So the party. There might be little blanks because I was also trying to rapidly sort out the character sheet. The baddies or confused adventurers visited Forge. Yeah, they had a bit of a discussion and then visited Forge and queried Forge whether Forge had seen Tauchi, knowing that Tauchi had a blade. Wait a minute. Sorry, very quick one. Was the Dwarf King the week before?
What?
Barrack. You mean the?
Yeah, the dragon.
No, it's all the same
No,
session.
this is all last week.
Gee, okay, hold on. I better get the order right then. Yeah, of course.
We
'cause
covered a
Rick
lot of
comes-
ground without really doing a lot, but
Yeah.
nearly
Yeah.
doing a lot. But also kind of doing a lot.
So, yeah, Ford, because Tauchi, well, he points out the sword when queried about Tauchi, and there's a great big mystical, like Buster Sword, Buster Sword style, giant cleaver, and he presents the sword to the group. Tenos takes it carefully and pops it on his back, I believe.
There was a bit of
Yeah.
hesitation and there was a lot
Yeah.
of riling up Forge and then getting kicked out of the Forge.
Yeah. So
Don't know what you're talking about. There was absolutely no consequences to us asking questions.
So there was a bit of questioning, and Ternos decides to poke the hornet's nest, and after Forge confirms certain aspects of the fairy tales, Ternos decides to ask him whether he is a trickster, and this is met with rage, frankly, and he grows and he grows. He says to get out. Faust gets a little bit cocky because of this Mephistopheles experience and tries to question a bit more. But Forge is having none of it and ushers the group to get out, getting larger and larger, ever more threatening, and eventually Tennis decides to grab the sword and go.
There's an
Which I
amulet.
believe. Oh yeah. Which was right in the nick of time because Forge was probably about to smash our heads in.
Less of the probably. It was you were within 5 seconds of absolutely getting your head smashed in.
That's like any normal session, though, right?
See, the key take home there is we had another 4 seconds of questioning that we wasted, squandered.
You needed a time wizard to elongate that.
Yeah.
So the group decides to visit Roche.
Yeah, there was side quest to buy some tarpaulin.
bolt of linen, yeah.
Yeah.
And,
To cover up the sword.
Yeah.
You know, walking around with it. And Joycey is the one that got us in touch with Rosh.
Joystick fix. And then on speaking to Rosh, Rip is introduced. Lord Riptor Van Winkle. Emphasis on the Lord. He is one of the lords of the city. And he does a brief introduction. I'm not
Very
sure.
trustworthy. No further questions required.
Yeah.
Yeah. No suspicion or anything
No.
that
Well,
Wilfred was
introduced by
received.
Rosh, like stand-up character and all.
Yeah.
So hold on. I just noticed Winston is not. Sorry.
Wilfred.
Wilfred.
Come on, you should know that name.
Wilfred. Well, no, because Wilf is William. That's
Is
what's
this part of,
Ah,
is this part of Rip's character to get Wilfred's name wrong every single time?
it might happen.
He's good friends with Rosh. They go way back.
Way back. He's not on. He's not on the character list.
Yeah, his character sheet's hidden because I've got surprise spells that I don't want people to see.
Oh. Right.
healing touch.
So
Nah.
Wilfred. Is a little disturbed by this. And minimum questioning, yeah. And moving on, the group. There's a bit of a. Is it a ruckus outside? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the screams of like he's back, they're gonna kill him, and then
Yeah.
lots of people running away.
Yeah. And the group enters the street. Actually, with Ross doesn't come along, does he?
They
No.
man the roofs, I believe. They're like there's a message
Get
to
some
Wilfred
reinforcements.
saying I can take them out or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Which I was like, no, that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This man's scary.
And in strolls, and the group finds themselves in the market square, and in strolls Varric. Actually, in comes running three of the High Lords. The three High Lords running from a scout dwarf that is apparently, it looks quite undead in his look, and it's Varric, aka the Hammer, and it becomes apparent very quickly that he is wanting to kill the High Lords when he chops one of them in two, straight down the middle. The group have a bit of a discussion with him and try and convince him otherwise. Manage to convince him against killing the next High Lord. No, he didn't. Sorry, they first whisk him away to another dimensional plane using banish. I believe Faust banished him, the other High Lord. So Faust is banking on settling it all within a minute, and the group do just manage to do that when they convince him, prior to him chopping up number 3, to not. Every member of the group has a unique input on this situation, and Varric seems to consider it. He does, however, cut the third lord off at the knees as by way of punishment. Fair bit of back and forth between the group and Varric, and he is very keen on killing the army at the gates, and off he flies eventually. towards the ladies, where he is going to get advice on tracking down the sword stealer. Thankfully, Tenos didn't reveal the sword to him, although he nearly did.
It was very close. He did say that he would accept hear our counsel, or we would be potentially be able to counsel him.
Counsel.
As in he's going to search us out at some point.
The passport control dudes from the gate were also in the square as well, I believe, in the north and south part, as well as Raquel.
And Ken picked up Raquel and said, "My father loves you," and then ran off. So, oh my gosh, so awkward. And Faust asked Mephistopheles for advice, and Mephistopheles says, "Don't ask me how I know this, but he's gone up against Athelion before with the sword in a lesser state of decay, and it didn't come off great. What's best for the people is real freedom. No Athelion, no hammer. Some people call this chaos. I call it freedom. Cut the heads off both the big bastards. I say fuck them both."
I don't remember when, but I made a power of friendship joke. I just remember doing that. I don't know when I said it. It's like, yeah, but we have the power of friendship.
I am going to go back and find that clip from the YouTube thing and add it to the soundboard here. Like whenever anyone casts like lay on hands or healing word or something, I'm just going to have that.
Yeah, so I got a question. So when we infiltrated the Hall of the Hammer, the guys that ran away, they weren't the High Lords then?
Mm-hmm.
But there was like 6 of them.
No,
There wasn't 3.
They were.
There was only 3 that ran away.
There were 3 High Lords, and there were a bunch of the overseers and the eyes of the High Lords who ran away as well.
Okay.
Well, the overseers surrounded Tauchi when Tauchi tried to speak to the High Lords. High Lords ran away.
Yeah, but I'm sure there was more than 3 that ran away. But if they were the eyes of the lords, then that would explain it.
The High Lords were very more concerned about the frailty of the hammer and not hurting him.
Yeah.
Even though they almost were destroyed.
Yeah. Also,
they
after reviving the one guy that did die, he was still subservient to the hammer and basically was saying, "He's our lord. We must protect him as he's not in his best state." Kind of doubts that he's ever going to be in a good state that's going to be good for anybody.
Well, I think we're going to have to put him down at some point.
Yeah,
if we can.
I think he's a bit evil.
Take him out the back with a shotgun, yeah?
But I think our current goal is to prevent the 2 forces from attacking each other, being the Amsonville force and the guys on the wall. So we did speak about splitting and going to each party in pairs. Is that still happening, or are we just going to the first group?
It depends what
Depends where we're
Rick's
at.
got lined
I
up.
think- Yeah, we want to look at the glyphs as well.
So just for my understanding, I'll put you on that map. The hammer has flown off. He turned into dragon form, ran off. You have High Lord Silas, who you had High Lord Osric, who was cut in half, or High Lord Silas, who was cut in half. I have it written.
It was the guy in the middle.
Yeah, so High Lord Silas was cut in half, but then mended together. And then you had smashed in, like, mulched arm and legs off at the knees. You mentioned on WhatsApp kind of getting them to safety. What's your what's your plan for them? Because you specifically kept them alive so that you could make use of their influence. Slash, you just didn't want to kill them because you're ostensibly the good guys.
Yeah.
They are still very scared. Slash injured. What is your plan for these three? Are you sending them off to try and hide somewhere? Are you keeping them with you? What's the plan for these three?
They could go back to the hammer in theory.
Yeah, I think from my perspective, we kind of we keep them as our puppets.
Yeah.
You know,
do we
they
not
for all intents and purposes,
lose-
they retain power for now. So
Well, they're not
know.
really in power, are they? The hammer's kind
No,
of
but-
discarded them.
absolutely, but the general populace would kind of perceive them as being in power, right? I mean, the general populace. I mean, they might find out fairly soon, but not everybody would be aware that there's a fucking giant dragon flying around right this second.
So he turned into a giant dragon and flew across the city. I don't think there's going to be long before word spreads that there's a dragon in the city that's just going around and not being attacked.
Well, people
Yeah,
are probably going to go back. Like, even more reason for them to go back to the hammer because that's like the
Yeah.
citadel.
They go, oh shit, there's a dragon. Let's go check out the hall of the hammer. Is the dragon there? Is it him?
Yeah.
Figure it out. I don't think it's going to be that difficult for them to figure out. Also, I was thinking maybe we sort these guys out and then clue them in our goal of trying to stop the city from dying to Athelian / armies / Vale / everything.
I think we gave them like a headliner of that last session. We kind of said like, we want you, like, we need your help. This shit's going down.
I mean, if they can't help us in terms of, keeping people in order, directing them the way that is ultimately best to them, then I mean, why bother wasting a spell
Well,
slot?
they may be able
bringing
to
it back from
advise
the dead?
us.
I mean, these guys are cunts though.
So from the perspective of the official governance of the city, if you remove Varric, the hammer himself, these guys are ostensibly still in charge. Like, officially, they are in charge. It's been like their run-in with Varric was public. People have seen that, and your characters would know that people had seen it. And people of various classes as well. So you've got kind of commoners, but you'd also have spotted, as well as Lester Spitwhistle, you knew that Raquel was there. So there's people from a few different kind of subsets of society there. So they've been seen, but officially they are still in charge. They're very injured, very much in your debt, particularly Silas. But their authority, is likely to be questioned. But, in terms of who has the seal and who's kind of directing stuff, ostensibly they are in charge, particularly without the beholder exerting his orders over the military.
I mean, they have their kind of acolytes and followers in the citadel, so they're probably safest with them as with their own guards. That, or they go to the Sleepless Vow with Rosh and his merry band.
I think maybe the two that got their bits removed can go back to their home, and then we take revived guy. What was his name?
Silas.
Wait a minute, didn't we already meet a Silas? Wasn't he the ghost? Or was that Stylus?
That was
Yeah,
Stylus.
style.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Similar names. So we could take him and maybe clue him in on what we're doing and how he thinks we should go about, portraying this to the city and what channels we should follow.
But on the flip side, it's like these cunts are not well regarded by everybody. So aligning yourself completely with these guys. I mean, the whole town is just like
Not
covered
really,
in
maybe
crime
not a
and
line,
crime,
but
right?
like a line, just like be like, look, we saved your life. Don't forget it.
Yeah.
It's more that they have the knowledge of how the city's run.
Oh, I don't reckon there'd be any good driving cabs around the UK at all, around London. Sorry.
All right. I just say my piece. That's my thoughts on the matter.
I think, yeah, it's tricky. We want to use them, but we don't want to align too heavily because doing so might put off others.
I mean, I think it's too early to align or not align, right? At this point, it's just like, are you stay alive? We've all got a bigger goal here.
I mean, if we tell them to piss off, go to the Hammer, and sit tight, we'll come find you in a bit.
Because we tried to get everybody on one side.
Yes.
That's not getting them on side though.
Yeah.
Uh,
But I just feel like we're going, oh, we'll do this in a few days, but in a few days the hammer's going to be destroyed by Athelion.
What, do you want to bring them with us to the wall?
No, just saying, because we still need to have a conversation with Rosh, and then decide what's happening, who's going where, and then we can go to the wall, right?
I think we agreed. First thing is let's look at the sword and work out if we can work out anything. So if the sword is like Tenos is the sword, Tenos is now god of Athil.
You're confusing Tenos and Tauchi.
No,
Tauchi's the sword.
I know, but Tenos is wielding him,
Oh, right.
or looking to potentially wield him all over his face.
Now, all I'm saying is maybe we keep one of the High Lords in contact with Rosh,
Okay.
so we can get this alliance going on this side of the wall.
Well, take him back to his little tavern, Sleepless Vow hideout where we met him before. Then.
I'll tell you what. How about we send one of them back to the Hammer, one of them off with Rosh, and one of them off to the Vale. There's three of them. There's three groups.
So which returns to fail? The one with no legs or no arms?
I'll tell you what, the one with no legs, I reckon we stick in the Hammer. Piggyback.
on a big old throne.
How does that sound? Does that sound dumb?
Yeah, why not? By veil, you mean? Oh yeah, the
eye.
Yeah, the eye.
Okay.
All right.
No, but doesn't sound dumb. I mean, spread them out.
So Silas.
We'll do that, and we'll ask them to reconvene in a few hours.
Oh, I forgot about that with Kern and Raquel. My dad fancies you. Picks her up and just runs off with her.
So, while you go to chat to the Lords, Tenos will check Raquel is okay. And
Fucking bet you will.
Well, I mean, you haven't got a lot of time, but he will also insist. He'll ask her to speak to her father about the army that's approaching, and if she has any sway with effectively convincing him they are not a threat.
Yeah, we also need to figure out what group is actually on the wall. Is it a mix of Wat and Vale remnants?
Well, if we need to have a conversation with Rosh and actually go to the walk, I believe the little dwarf dude with the blue paint said we have a plan for those on the wall, something to that ilk. And then Rosh was like, be quiet. And
they
so I think first, like, before we go to a specific location, you need to talk to Rox, right?
Yeah.
And
So while we're talking to Rosh,
go on.
does Faust want to try and decipher the symbols with Rip on the sword? So I think
Well, do we want to do sword stuff after army stuff?
I think sword stuff first, just in case if sword stuff affects literally, like if we sort out the army and then we look at the sword and then the sword is like presenting this sword will make everybody your bitch, then that could potentially be used or may not at all. We don't know.
I mean, if we can
Either way,
combine
we've
that
got
with
to do it out of sight. We don't want people to see the
Well,
sword. So either way,
can
we're
we-
going to go back to Rosh's hideout.
Yeah, so let's go back to Rosh's hideout for battle plan / sword study group.
Okay.
And it'd be good to get Rip's insight on it, being a time wizard, and also studying Dwarfkin's ring after it had the amulet powder dusted over it.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm actually 5. Just made me chuckle saying studying Dwarfkin's ring.
Such a child.
I think we've established the tone for the session.
Would you? Sorry to be that guy, but with when you're studying Dwarfkin's ring, would you prefer to do that alone or?
Well, he's got to dig up the body first.
Okay. All right. So we send off the dudes, the High Lords.
One of them's coming with us.
And we take Silas with us, as he seems
Okay.
to be most grateful, as I just raised him from the dead.
Yeah, I mean, you fucking better be.
Thanos will give Raquel the Pearl Dimension door as well to make a quick escape if he needs to. Reason being, it only lasts for an hour, and we're probably going to spend longer than that camping in Rocket's hut.
So as you're talking to Raquel, she presumably you ask Ken to put her down, which Ken does. Oh, okay.
No, yes.
She looks at you and she says, I could have taken him, you were in danger, I could have helped you. And as she does it, she takes the dagger and she flourishes it up in a fancy flip, catches it, spins it on the end of one finger, turns it, and then secretes it into a gown, and then goes back to looking very proper and prim. I just want to keep you safe. I could have taken him, but it seems like that's not a problem anymore.
For now.
I'm sure you could have taken him, but for now, I think diplomacy first, action later.
So, Mr. Dragon Man, what do you need from me?
I'm sure you're aware of the forces on their way here from Amsonville.
I have my sources of information, you are correct.
I mean, there's been too much fighting going on inside the city, outside the city. Unless we all kind of calm down a little bit, it's all going to get a lot worse. And if you happen to know anyone that could persuade the garrisons, the armies, to maybe not treat the forces of Amsonville as hostile, as they are not hostile as far as I'm aware.
If you wish me to talk to my daddy, at least have the courtesy to say it outright, sir.
Alright, fine. Can you talk to your dad?
Anything for you, handsome. I've not seen him in a few days, but I'll go calling.
I'm sure he'd be grateful for a visit.
People are rarely grateful for a visit from little old me, but I'll do my best.
Well, consider me grateful.
He just runs a finger around your scaly head.
The dragon's purr, that thing?
You can if you want.
No, I think Dennis will just kind of not
Or is it
like
more
with his
like
like plate armor, like attempt to like hold her face or anything like that, but just kind of put his hand on her thigh just to acknowledge the contact.
Father, you seem weak around this one. I suggest distance and caution.
And Thanos will
I'll cast
ignore
guidance
Ken.
on Thanos. I'll just like pat him on the back and just like, good luck, kid.
So so Raquel is very amenable to going. She says she hasn't seen him in a few days, but she's very amenable to going to seek out her father. Okay, so you're taking Silas with you. Mortimer and Osric being sent off. Are you going straight to the walls, or are you going back with Roche to have powwows first?
I think
Rosh
Rosh.
initially.
Wow.
What was the chaps called? High Lord Mortimer and the High Lord.
So you got Mortimer with no legs,
Yeah.
Osric with an arm that's a shoulder that's basically mashed potato, and Silas got cut in half and then stitched back together with time magic.
Cool. Thank you kindly. In my notes, it just says Mortimer, no legs, Ogrig, mashed potato arm.
So let's just put, where did I have your Crimson Curse? I think it was this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So let's make sure that the right people in the room, just in case. Let's put you there. There you go. And you had High Lord Silas with you. Okay. You're all together back in this meeting place.
Okay. So are we going to talk to Roche first, or are we going to do the sword first?
I think Rosh, in case things need to be actioned and put into motion.
Whilst that's happening, I'm going to sit in the corner and get my ritual ready of comprehend languages.
Okay.
Thanos will quickly kind of check in on Wilfred and Rip to see if they're kind of settling in all right into the party, given the recent current events.
I mean, it's been a long day.
A lot can happen in a day.
I mean, what? There were zombies. Then you took us to see those creepy ladies. Then we ended up here. Oh, and then there was also the devil at the forge. What was his name again?
Forge.
That's it. Forge at the forge.
Dennis will put a hand on Wilfred's and Rip's shoulder and say, "Good company is its own reward," and then kind of go into the office with Rock.
I mean, that's one way of putting it. You follow him in.
Indeed.
So things look like they have escalated.
Yeah, the hammer's up and about. Valric, I believe his name is. And he seems antagonistic to our forces coming from Amson Burl. So we planned to try and quell the flames a bit and try and get everybody on the same side.
Do you think you could take him easily in combat?
Not easily.
Then speed is the key, my friend.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right on that one.
He looks like kind of over his shoulder at Tink, Marathwin, and Mogram, who you've not asked for the names of. Very as we have our plans, but will assist you in your diplomacy however we can.
Can you fill us in, just so we were aligned?
The forces are waiting at the wall, eager to fight. Amsenberl approaches. They are not far away. There is a small scout unit in advance, about a mile ahead of the main force. The Amsenberl force will not attack unless they see a signal or are attacked themselves. This is the danger. If they are attacked, we may not be able to stop the tide.
What are your contingencies for that?
He gestures behind him. These are my 3 finest recruits into the new vow. They specialize in disrupting from the inside. And Mogram will step forward slightly. They kick off, we'll go behind them and fuck them up.
Thanos will give just a nod, just a knowing nod.
He will give you the exact nod back.
Yeah.
You can get the feeling he's not quite sure what it means.
What of the other lords? Are they bolstering the troops of the wall? Or are they keeping out of this?
The lords have not given thought to the encroaching forces that I can see. If they are planning things, it is behind closed doors.
The army that's on the wall. Do you know how the forces are split between the different factions in the Hammer? I.e., how many are Vale, how many are the Watch, how many are other sort of mercenaries?
He's not able to give you any specifics, so he doesn't have kind of rosters or anything like that. He says that he kind of sets out that of all of the various companies or various companies that are kind of along the wall, there is a mix of people who are just conscripted in, people who are kind of Vale thugs through and through, and people who are kind of mercenaries. Some people pulled from the fighting pits, although the fighting pits are still carrying on as normal, so not everyone from the fighting pits. So there's a bit of a smattering, but they are all answering to their individual commanders, who seem much more kind of skilled military people, not necessarily idealistic, but kind of they've put the people who are kind of what they will follow orders and carry them out well, rather than kind of the idealistic people there to be in charge of individual companies in general.
So we want to target the commanders first. If we have the opportunity to speak to them, at least. Do you know how best we could do that?
Marathon will take a step forward. She's kind of one who looks like a seasoned fighter, but a bit more eloquent than Mogram the dwarf. So this is an elven warrior, and she steps forward and says, "A good commander has 2 ears, 1 mouth, and so always listens twice as much as they speak. Talk to them, face to face. Appeal to their rationality, their sanity, their pragmatism, and the preservation of the lives that they are leading. But be warned that they are not all cut from the same cloth. There are a few wildcard commanders in there. There's one in particular that I cannot get a read on, but I do not know any detail. But I would suggest speaking to them in front of their men."
Okay, which is the one that you can't get a good read on?
He heads
there a
up a
name?
particularly savage infantry division. It is, I believe, positioned nearby the trebuchets, but I cannot be sure. They may change formation.
Okay.
I mean, at this point, we don't want to just go up to the wall randomly, hoping to find the commanders. Is there a station post somewhere that they might be rallying?
If you go to the wall, the commanders will not leave the wall when the danger is this close. If you go to the wall and send a convincing summons, they will come.
And the backup plan? And Severfoot will kind of just nod towards Morgrim again.
I'm going to go to the wall incognitus. That means under me coat. And if it all goes badly, I'm going to start. See, the thing about ankles is, if you put an ankle against an hammer really fast, the ankles really hurt, and that's what I'm going to do a lot.
Wilfred would give a side glance at Rosh as that is saying, is it like, this is the best?
Trust me. And Tink and Marathon will roll their eyes and just kind of give you a, yeah, it's fine. You can see from the two of them, Marathon is sharpening a very, very keen axe, and definitely knows how to handle it. And Tink is kind of fiddling with something small and clockworky, and seems like she knows what she's doing.
Should we need your assistance? Is there a signal we can use that perhaps won't be misinterpreted by the Amazon Bow forces?
When you say assistance, what assistance do you think? I mean, we will wait until, if our purpose is to wait, if fight breaks out, we will make sure they are fighting on 2 fronts. What extra assistance do you require from us?
If we cannot reason with the commanders, then we may need to use other means
You mean
to persuade them.
You mean to threaten them?
It usually ends up that way.
If my captain commands it, I will carry it out. Rosh goes directly to Wilfred and says, Wilfred, kind of so that everyone can hear, but quietly, so that it is to Wilfred, but everyone else can hear. I'm no headsman. I'm no headsman. But I trust your judgment.
And yours too.
If you
Let's
give
get
me
through this together.
If you give me the signal that heads need to be removed, I will trust you that it is for the greater good.
I mean, you know me. Yeah, that's my last resort. But at the end of the day, this is for the people.
Rosh makes it clear that he will, him and his guys, other than their plan A, he will act only on plan B if the order comes from Wilfred and Wilfred alone.
Dennis will turn to Wilfred. Say, did you still want to meet the Amston Bell forces as well as the wall?
I see no reason to yet, as they're only going to act if the forces here act first. However, if it looks like we cannot talk the guys down, I may either send a message or go personally to try and prevent an all-out war.
The sound plan.
But let's see how this goes first. I reckon they're probably about half a day's march away. So we are on a clock, but there are still many hours in the day left.
Perhaps we should use that time to ready ourselves, prepare.
Well, no, I think we should go to the wall ASAP.
By prepare,
We want to try and
like
talk them
snapping the
down
sword.
before the army actually arrives. But we can spare a few minutes if we just wanted to study the sword.
Yeah, I think we have to look at the sword, right?
I mean,
Just-
you've been doing your comprehend language. I'm sure it's been 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm ready. So I think if it's languages, I'm good. If it's glyphs, well, hopefully our wizard's friend
So-
can assist.
Just to be clear, so Tenos will kind of like leave Ross and his crew, and we'll kind of go through to the back room, out of immediate sight of Ross and the others, and kind of beckon the rest of the party as we go through.
Okay.
Find a table or something to rest, and basically get I think it's the first opportunity we've had to look at this object since we were forges, and we were left in a hurry, and we haven't done anything with it since, apart from potentially get it out of the square. So we'll unwrap it, lay it down on the table, and just kind of, there we go. We can all see it. It's all there. And Tenos just put his hand on the blade. That's it.
Okay.
Okay.
I think Faust would disguise self as Ken, and then would just come in and say, "Father, how's your girlfriend?" and tap him on the back. Then we'll just sit awaiting the sword.
And Tenos will get a coin out of his pocket and like run it between his fingers and say, "How's yours?"
Oh,
That's
Say,
zing!
absolutely fine.
If you didn't already have inspiration, that
Oh,
was inspiration.
I'm taking that.
Yeah, I used mine last session.
As a point of order, as we get closer to kind of things happening which are very time dependent, I'm going to increase the scope of what inspiration can be used for. So, as well as giving you advantage on something, inspiration can also be used to call in a flashback. To say, but I did this other thing that, helps.
Right.
So whether it's talk to someone or kind of prepping something, putting something in a specific place, I actually put a bucket with water over the door frame so they got wet.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So inspiration can also be used, now that we get to these time sensitive situations, to call in a flashback.
Yeah, like a heist reveal.
Exactly.
Ooh, that's cool. And in the timeline as well, is Cairn in the sewers now?
You haven't sent him off yet.
All right, we'll send them off. Oh, actually, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm going to keep him with me. I'm going to keep him with me because I at least want to see him in action first. Yeah.
Ken is. Have you asked Ken to do this?
No,
Okay.
not yet. Well,
Because
unless I say,
bear in
unless I say
mind,
otherwise.
Ken is
Yeah,
not
go.
subservient.
No, that is a good point. I think Thanos is just very used to Clive just going around with him. I suppose it'd be rude for Thanos not to kind of check in with Cairn. Say, how are you finding your new form?
Father, my form is strong. I look forward to being able to make you proud.
And he bends down close, and he says, in what Ken thinks is whispering, but is always louder.
If by my life or death I can protect you, I will. I will die for you, Father, for this gift you have given me.
I mean, hopefully, like, kind of help him stand upright and not be like punched now over. I mean, hopefully it won't come to that. And you earned it yourself. This is uh, your a gift of your own making, with your deeds and your courage. It's up to you what you do with it.
I appreciate this autonomy. I will do my best to not do evil things.
Your best is enough.
My best is enough.
At this display, Wilfred just wipes a tear. I'm so wholesome.
So you have the sword on the table.
Anyway, sword, yeah.
Oh yeah. Cool.
Are we all going to do a check, depending on what our speciality is, and see if we can find anything about it?
Yeah. Rip would definitely be interested in the runes.
Yeah.
Are
Because I would like to do a history check because I'm fucking old.
we going to be spending enough
Captain
time
Planet
here?
situation. Wind, water, earth, fire!
I suppose Dennis put his hand on the sword. He was waiting for the others to do the same.
Are we going to be spending enough time in here for like a short rest, or are we planning on?
I doubt it. I think
Half
at
an hour,
most,
Max, maybe?
like half an hour. Yeah.
Those are the words of man with the spell slot.
I'm sorry. I don't waste my spell slots yet. I've only cast like 3 spells.
I've only got 2 spell slots.
So Tenos, you
I've
put
used
your
them.
hand on the
Sorry.
blade, and you feel this sense of the familiar again about it. So it's kind of, especially now you have a bit more insight into what went into making this blade. You kind of think, yeah, this is there's something of my old friend here. And you kind of feel that, kind of deep in your soul. As you examine the blade, I'm assuming you're examining the blade as you're touching it, or you just touching it.
In every way. I think Tenos basically just has a fetish for all weapons. He's got like a whole arsenal of everything, but effectively he's studying it from a martial, probably perspective, but generally, studying it in how he knows it.
Okay, so you looking as you kind of run your hand along the flat of the blade, you can see, if you get really up close, the edges seem to be kind of these like little shards of onyx seem to be constantly shifting and changing shape ever so slightly. Like some bits getting particularly sharp, some bits getting dull, but periodically, kind of bits of the blade getting impossibly sharp, like to the point where it's whistling through the air without actually moving sharp, but it's kind of undulating as you kind of run your hands over the blade. If you want to know more about what that means and it's martial abilities, then give me an Arcana check.
And Rip do the Arcana, or is that just for...
We're going to do the check specific to what each individual is doing so that we don't skill dogpile. So with 11, you think that you don't get a huge amount else from that. There's something that's variable about this blade. It's got something of change about it. It's not just a big, strong blade.
Got you. And is the weight of it proportion to the size?
Again, it changes. So it's kind of when you were kind of swinging it around, planting it down next to you while still sheathed, it felt quite manageable. Kind of you were there with purpose, and you did it. It felt when you were kind of hurling it off your back, unwrapping it and putting it on the table, it felt quite heavy, like a large lump of rock. So it seems very situational.
Okay, cool.
What's everyone else looking at with this blade?
How do you want to go? And then,
yeah, that's okay.
since you'd be doing the
Yeah, I think I'd be looking at the runes, seeing if I can decipher them, or the words, whatever they might be. Who knows?
So they are very clear runes.
Okay.
But as you get close and you are kind of trying to use this magic to get understanding from them, are you touching the blade as well as you do this?
Yeah, I think I'd probably be getting fairly close, and then maybe kind of like lightly touching it, running my fingers over the glyphs, perhaps.
So the act of touching it, you feel again this sense of the familiar, as though the blade itself understands that you can't read the glyphs as glyphs, and so they start morphing and changing into words that you can understand, and the words that are inscribed along this side of the blade are: power is neither good nor evil. I am power.
Cool. So that's along the one side of the blade.
Yeah.
Epico, thank you.
you share
I'd ask about the other side, but I'm assuming that my good friend Lord Riptavin Winkle and/or Wilfred will look at that.
Do you share what you found with everybody else in the moment, or?
I think it'd be kind of touching the glyphs, and then almost subconsciously would just say, "Power is neither good nor evil. I am power. Just quietly, as if pondering.
Wilfred would lean over and be like, "You said this was your friend."
Yes. Tachi.
Right, and he became the sword.
He has always been the sword.
Was he a sword when you met him?
As you say, he has always been the sword. You kind of feel like there's nothing that changes on the sword, but as part of this kind of feel of familiarity, you feel like you can't explain it, but the sword is going. You've got it.
I would like to do a history check to see if I could tell if this is anything but just a really old sword. Oh, I was
21.
expecting it. No.
Uh,
I was
so,
going to be a shit. So I was going to go, yeah, that's just an old sword.
what 21? So you being the kind of person who knows about uh, weaponry, battles, all of that kind of stuff. You've never seen a sword like this apart from in kind of grand illuminated texts and legends and things. This is very clearly something that is much more beyond just an old sword and something that is special and arcane. But even amongst magic swords, it is unique and rare.
Well, your friend is a really fucking cool sword. But I've got nothing else. I'm not really a man of magic and knowledge in that sense, so I'll leave the rest to you.
Sorry, just look at Ollie, just going, "Yeah, I am a fucking cool sword."
I think Rip would actually sense that the sword. The he's been noticing lots of time disturbances around. Nothing is quite right anywhere, but there's something right about the sword and time. So he would be investigating, like the presence of time around it, trying to like ascertain whether what is happening with the flow of time around this sword.
Okay. Can you give me either an Arcana check or what else would be your what else would be like kind of a magic-y type check for you?
Well, I'm thinking just because of his background, investigation might be,
Yeah.
or I could potentially do both.
I'll let you do investigation. So what do you get? So you don't get a full sense of why, but what you get is that the stability that you feel around this sword is that everything else around is kind of all a bit of a hodgepodge of possible causes, possible effects, all different possibilities that could be happening in time. You feel like what's calming and right about this sword is that its destiny seems entirely predetermined, and therefore its origins also entirely fixed. But with a 12, you don't get a huge amount more than that.
I think he'd be pretty happy with that, because he still he doesn't know much of the background for this. Obviously, your friend, but doesn't know any more about that, which is fitting. Don't think he'd do anything else. No. Maybe something with Cairn in a minute, but that'll be after the sword.
Is everyone else doing anything with the sword?
I think I'll perhaps look at the other side.
Okay. So as you turn it over, you see the symbols that are kind of changing and moving around look different to the first side. So there's something different written here. Yeah, it lasts for an hour, so you'll be able to get it. And so the words on this side are: the greatest power resides in the soul. Thrust all the way, I consume.
Cool. And I think much like the first, I think Faust would be more expecting it this time, and would probably be saying it a little more confidently when reading it out. Yeah. Interesting.
What's the first line of that bit again?
The greatest power resides in the soul.
The greatest power is the soul.
Ah.
So the power of friendship.
With all the kind of party like doing their individual thing, Tennis will also invite Cairn to study the blade, touch the blade, study the blade as well.
Who's watching Silas?
Who's second rock, right?
Let's say, can we say racket?
Okay, sure. Okay.
You're Raven.
Yeah.
Nice.
So Ken goes in.
Father, what do you wish of me?
Cairn, what do you make of this blade?
He goes and he puts his the fleshy hand that he has on the blade. And what would he? So he would. Let's do. That's Rosh. That's Raquel. We don't need her. Ken. So let's do a.
Oh. Oh.
Father, I do not think I am worthy to touch this sword. I do not know who would be.
Maybe not one person is. Then I was kind of just look to everyone else in the room. Not one person.
As I said, the power of friendship.
Is Wilfred saying this out loud?
I think he's just a little bit confused about everything that's going on. He's trying to be involved in the conversation.
It's fine. Tennis will just kind of like acknowledge, like, tap on the shoulder, like yeah. Sure. If we're done studying it, then we'll wrap it back up as and when we're done.
Yeah.
And position it back on his back.
Okay.
We also take Theodard's
helmet
helmet off him. Oh no, sorry, go on.
Is there anything else you guys wanted to check out or look at? I can't remember.
I think so. Didn't you mention you tell us what to look at the ring that had dust flown on it?
I don't think they'll have enough time though to look at the ring. If it's something well, I mean, Thanos will offer it up to Rip first, knowing Faust's history with the ring. Say, what do you make of this?
Muted.
Sorry, I've got drama with the boy. With the ring, I think Faust would. The ring's been quite negative towards Faust. I think he'd probably say, "Oh, it's a cheap parlor trick. I'd give it no regard."
And Rip?
The ring. Hmm,
Could you study it for me?
yeah. Absolutely.
You spent a lot of time studying rings.
I will. I'm always happy to study some rings. Up close. Always willing to have a look into Battle BRK.
So, without doing a roll, as a wizard, and this kind of magic item being a wizard's forte, you know that there's something strange and powerful about this ring. You could discern exactly what it does and how to unlock this power. It would take time. You reckon if you had a good 6 hours, you could study this and like really get a good feel for this ring and what it can do. At the moment, all you can get is this is pretty big stuff for these guys. But you can't get any more than that without spending some time on it. So it's entirely a gamble for the party as to whether you want to spend the time doing that. But you feel like if you spend the time, you will be successful.
Maybe post averting war.
Yeah, I was just going to suggest. Rip would say there is purpose to this ring, but it needs to be studied, perhaps in my in
Your secret chambers? In your bedchamber?
my chambers. I was going to say it needs to be studied with some time and acuity.
You fair enough. Please keep hold of it. Keep it safe. And when you have time, let's unlock the secrets together.
Secret of the ring. Cool. He popped it away in a safe pocket. Does Rip have the item we talked about, or is he mid-acquiring it?
Oh, that could be something that you could have in your collection. You could feasibly have had it in your collection for years.
Excellent. Actually, yeah, in which case he does not have it on him. That will be something to get. I think at some point he will get that, as he's had a familiar feeling today.
We can head off the wall.
So as you guys are kind of having this discussion, Rosh bursts in to the room. Forgive the intrusion. Word has reached me. The army has moved with unnatural pace. They are all but here.
We wanted to look at the sword.
Well,
Right, we
You
better.
have a plan. The time is now.
Let's go.
let's make haste.
Let's see.
So, let's. I have so many fucking maps here. So let's put you on this one.
I don't know. It doesn't look too bad. It's not on there.
I will copy over. Doop, 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 doop. Bear with me. This is not great radio. Hopefully that'll go. Not entirely the right place. Okay, annoyingly. So you get to the wall. I'll tinker with these while we're talking. And there are various kind of units that are positioned on the wall. That'll be there. That'll be there. The trebuchets are gone. And you can see that they're kind of set up. Murder hole would be there. Sorry, this is really annoying and really
That's
bad.
right. When we left the hideout, I would have cast aid on our party members. So everybody gets 5 max health for the next 8 hours.
Nice.
Oh, sweet.
Excellent. Sad there. So I've got some questions to the mages out there. So hold on, that's 5 temporary hit points.
No, 5 max health.
Oh,
So, do we also get 5 health on top of that, or our maximum health?
Yeah, I'd assume so. Otherwise, it's pointless. Otherwise, you'd have to heal up.
That's what I mean. Well, the thing is, I'm not at full health. That's what I mean. Like, I'm already not at full health. So,
Sorry, bear with me. I'm just going to move these and then I will make a judgment call for you on that. Oh, it's the wrong fucking scale. That's why it's all off. That's really annoying. I've done a fuck up. Alright, so there's one there, there's one there, there's one there.
Good question to previous wizards, because I'm only warlocked and it's very different to a wizard.
Yep.
I get the preparation of spells. You prepare during a long rest, and they're the spells you can use within the spell slots. You got a certain number of prepared spells. I get that. I don't understand how many normal spells we can have that are not.
So how many known spells rather than prepared spells?
Yeah, known exactly, because there's no guide to known spells.
Let me just look it up quickly.
Spell slots.
use the ones you like and keep them. Keep them.
There is a formula for it. Wizard.
Yes, so there's known spells, which are essentially the spells that you have copied in your spellbook. And then your prepared spells are the ones that you can cast per day.
Not sure how many known we can have.
I mean, let's be honest. There's only one spell that you really need.
Yes.
I just blast.
You taking chill touch though. That's a nice spell.
I'm not sure a time wizard would have fireball, to be honest. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't.
So, Oh, this is needlessly complicated and wordy. Okay. We'll sort that out. For the time being, if there's a spell that you are allowed to have, let's just say that you have it prepared, and then we'll. Ugh! Sorry, I kicked a wire. So, is there anything else that you guys are doing on the short time between going from the hideout to the walls?
So I'd be casting the aid spell. I've just get a ruling on do you get 5 health as well as 5 max health? Or do you have to heal to get a benefit from it?
Are you touching yourself there, Ollie?
No, I'd said ignore that, and then I realised maybe I won't actually. Maybe I'll use exactly that. I will use that. Duration 8 hours. Yeah, that seems perfect. I was trying to read it, but no, I'll use it. Cool. I will do that.
Okay. So, first question: are you taking your High Lord pet with you, or are you leaving him somewhere?
I think take him with us, right? I mean, Operation Human Shield. Can we say that?
I'm inclined to agree, not the human field bit, but the if Faust's handy little speech, I think if all else fails, I think the High Lord might have a bit more credence, might have a bit more kind of power than our own words.
I think maybe if we get the 3 of them with the party with Rosh and deliver said speech.
I think Rock and the party are going to be incognito. I think they're going to be tucked away.
Okay.
But I can ask Ken if he can keep an eye on our High Lord friends here as we try diplomacy.
So you're taking all 3 High Lords with you, but you're having Cairn babysit them while you're there.
But we just taken the one that was with us in the tavern, and then the others have gone back to.
I'd like to think that they're back. They're kind of back by now. You kind of like go off, talk to them, come back.
Oh, all 3 of them come back to us.
Yeah, I think that's.
Yeah. I mean, Ken can kind of corral all 3.
You're like, Raquel, stay safe. My daddy loves you.
How's no legs getting around though?
I mean, you can go on Ken's back. Surely, no legs went to the hammer and he brought some acolytes back with him. That is like basically carrying him.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, like on like a not a stretcher. What's the thing called? Where like royalty was taken
A
around
litter.
on. Oh, what? Sorry.
A litter.
Ah.
Wow.
Sure. I have no reason as to why that wouldn't be the case. So.
Oh,
So
sorry,
you've
I'm just taken aback and so impressed. You just like off the top of your head. Oh, it's a litter.
Got one in the garden.
I mean, who doesn't know that that's a litter?
Well, he's a world-renowned fantasy writer, of course. He knows things.
It's true.
Also,
He's everything about kings and queens.
I could just be making this shit up, and you're not going to check.
I mean, I literally already I checked the second you said it, and it was correct.
So you've got them with you. Rosh's folk are secreting themselves into the forces. You have the various companies along the wall and the trebuchets there. What would, in fact, because for the sake of accuracy, for the sake of accuracy and scale, actually, I'm going to put you over to this map. But let's just pretend that your guys, the Amson Bill guys, are not there yet. So you have the amassed forces on the wall. You have the High Lords, and you have Cairn. Where are you putting yourselves to summon over the commanders to give this rousing speech?
Well, I would use my background to find out. It says here you easily find the local outpost of the Watch or similar organization. So maybe I can figure out where they're all already, maybe some of them are already collected, and go there rather than just wandering around aimlessly.
Okay, so you know that there's a higher concentration of them on this side of the gates. So in order to get most of them who are already there, you're looking somewhere sort of from this square to that square and everything in between. There's a group over here that everyone seems sort of keeping out of the way of. Less jovial, less camaraderie. But most of the commanders, it'd be easiest to muster them around here.
I mean, let's do the low-hanging fruit first, surely. Start from the middle and head towards that way.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can kind of gather, since you have the High Lords with you, all of the commanders come to hear what you have to say. You notice that the commander who comes from over here is not really getting into into the spirit of things in a similar way. He's kind of very much hanging back and seems semi uninterested in anything that anyone has to say.
So, 9 sure he's the one that Bethenwyn was warning us of. Is vibes I'm getting. Like, probably the one that is a bit shitty and probably Vale oriented. Just vibes I'm getting.
Let's keep eyes on him.
Yeah.
And for the purposes of context as well, scaling the wall, you can see that there is a kind of a scout contingent that is not far away at all from the wall. Like, we're talking 400 meters. But the wider force is kind of a few miles out. So you got a single company of Amson Burr lot coming kind of way vanguard. Everyone else is kind of a few miles away, but you can see everyone approaching.
Okay.
So you gather the company commanders, and they all gather around with various levels of, come on then, don't waste our time. What the fuck you got to say to us? Who are you?
You want to take the lead?
Tend to like elbow foul.
I think Faust would explain that we, and as he said, we kind of turn around, look at Wilfred, who he's only just fucking met, look at some wizard that he's only just fucking met, look at Tenos, go, we
double thumbs up.
We have we've freed this town.
It's a city.
From the fetters imposed upon it by Praxis, and there's a great enemy, a world-ending threat heading this way, and all mortals should gather and stand shoulder to shoulder to stop it. Think not of yourselves, but think of your family and your children and your children's children and all those that are yet to come. And then he'd go into the pre-written speech. And kind of gauge how it goes down.
That speech.
The other one you sent in WhatsApp.
That speech being excellent. Bear with.
You don't get out of playing the game just by rolling the dice.
hey, I thought I ad-libbed pretty well.
Yeah, you should add in "the veil has been lifted." I think that's a really good line.
Yeah,
that is a good line. So I think
are you using any kind of magic or anything to amplify?
I was literally just about to say, like in Harry Potter when he's like does the thing to his throat. He'd like do that. Is it Sonos? No, what's Sonos? What's the spell that he does?
In Sonos, isn't it?
No, in Harry Potter. Anyway, so he'd thaumaturge himself to make himself super duper loud. After given the initial speech, and then he would turn to everybody and say, "We stand at the precipice of history, where myth and legends converge. Athelion, the harbinger of doom, approaches, and the hammer stands in his path. If left unchecked, Athelion will crush our friends, neighbors, and allies beneath his heel, bringing the end of days to all of Athel. But let it be known that the forces of Amson-Burl march not as invaders, but as allies. They have answered the call, standing shoulder to shoulder with us, united against the darkness that threatens us all. The great city of the Hammer has been brought to its knees by greed and treachery, but those who sought to enslave us for their own gain are no more. Now a new dawn rises over the Hammer. The veil has been lifted, carrying with it the promise of a brighter future. The people of this city, resilient and steadfast, have cast off the chains of the past. We look forward to an era of prosperity, justice, and unity, where tyranny and corruption has no place. In this crucial hour, we call upon all mortals, to raise their banners as one, to face our common enemy Athelion as one, to survive and thrive as one. Let us seize this moment and be remembered in history as the guardians of Athel. Let it not be said that when Athel stood on the brink of ruin, the guardians of Athel were there to keep it aloft, standing for what is right and just. May this union be the beacon of hope that lights our way for the generations to come.
Very good.
Yeah.
What's everyone else doing while this speech is being delivered?
Dennis would just do like a little, like kind of little fist bump, like a kind of little fist in the air as Faust kind of finishes it, like really just
And
trying to G him up a little bit.
Mage hand fist pump.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where's my...
It's the Harry Potter charm is sonorous, not sonos. Close.
Rick, did you ever write up my magic items abilities?
It is in loot in the Journal of
Okay.
Mortality.
Where are we? Am I able to see it?
Let me just...
Oh, is it this one? That's it, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I got it. You got it. Yeah, Smite Shroud.
I did not realise that Denos's Dwarfkin's ring was in the loot. Or the necklace of Lady Hallwinter. I've just had it in my little thing for ages.
Yeah.
So, um,
I'm going to use my staff's ability.
okay.
Trying to get as many people in range, but mainly having our party members, but as many of the commanders as I could fit in the range.
And I did
So-
type in there all allies within a 10-foot
Yep,
radius.
yep.
Not
all
just
allies.
party members. Yeah.
Yep, all allies.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, so
Holy shit!
that
I'm,
is insane.
I'm
That's
going
my magic
to,
item.
I'm going
That's
to
nuts!
I'm going to have Faust I'll let you choose either a performance or persuasion check with advantage because you've got other people doing helpful stuff as well.
If I use inspiration, can I have like any difference?
Nope. Unless you want to do a callback, which would make it that might make it easier, but it is an important role.
Yeah. Okay.
This will have consequences, but you do have advantage.
I can also give you guidance.
Yeah, as well as guidance and anything else that people might want to do to actively help.
Do you want to
Giving
spare the
yourself
dying
bardic
as well?
inspiration.
Nah. Okay. So my
Oh, I
inspiration
can
is
light you up as well.
okay. This is it. This is it. Okay. Persuasion.
Holy shit.
I'll take 32. Oh, hold on.
Plus a D4.
35.
35.
Yeah, so let me just look. 35, is that a success? Yeah. So, people seem like the commanders around you. They seem like they are worried about this. You mentioning that Athelion is coming and that there's more at stake here than this army, and that if there's a bigger threat, these people with weapons could help us. That sounds like a good thing. There are a few questions which will require answers from the commanders. So one of them asks, one of the commanders of one of the archer companies. So, who's in charge then? Are you in charge? Are you saying that you lead this alliance? Who do we take our orders from if everything is falling to pieces?
I think Tenos is now time to whip out the sword, or are you keeping the sword?
At this time, another commander also chimes in. We're not taking no orders from Amson Burlock. We're the capital. Who's in charge?
Who did you take orders from before, or now?
Messengers, but from the appointed High Protector, who you've just said is killed. So they were all getting their orders directly by message from Praxis after he was officially appointed into the official governance of the city.
I mean, there's a
Which
lot
is
in
those
3
posters
hours.
that you guys saw being carried out of the library.
Praxis lied and killed his way into a position of power and influence, and he was a rot on this city. The fact you never saw him in person and only through messages surely speaks volumes.
Have you got the Beholder Stalk still?
I do, but I mean, they might not even know what that is.
So
whip it out.
You would know that your character would know. It's not necessarily a reliable assumption to make that they've never seen him.
Ooh, okay.
He was. You did get intelligence directly. Tenos did from your exchanges with the not the billboard, the message board in the city that he was off at the main gate at some point, expecting someone.
We have
Where
it.
we are now? Are we at the main gate now?
Yes.
Yeah. We have it on good intelligence that your commander orchestrated all of this, including this incursion from Hammerfall.
Yep. They're asking who's in charge now.
I'm getting to that point, Wilfred.
Sorry, boss. I'll keep quiet.
As for who's in charge now, you're quite right. This city needs strong leadership, but also not a dictator. So I think it's only fair that as commanders, you have a say who's in charge.
Interesting. And so
For the
another
greater
one-
good.
Give me a check against that. Give me a. I think it would be another persuasion check.
I'm going to use my newly found inspiration for this. Persuasion. Oh, that's
Okay.
fine.
13. Not clear. Okay. So another one's who is one of the mages. So, what is the plan? What comes next? You give a good speech about alliances and a marching Athelion. What do you expect us to do?
So sidebar. What is the plan here? I reckon we go away from the town a bit, set up camp, rest.
Are we going to intercept Athelion? Is that the
I
plan?
think we probably want to take him outside of town rather than
Yeah.
in the town.
So we're going to
with the
march
women and
west.
children.
Scout, send a forward party to scout Athelion to assess the threat and his location, I would say.
That sounds good. I reckon we gotta go
Sure.
out. I think we've got to go out and rest as one outside
Yeah.
the town.
And I think we get both groups, that being the guys on the wall and the Absent Bill lot, to send scouts individually to confirm the location and threat that is Athelion. So they can report back to everyone and be like, yeah, there is a fucking giant monster coming this way.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think if we had a scouting party, I mean, not necessarily two scouting parties. Well, scouts from both parties as one, is to kind of like
Yeah,
get them to work together.
the Avengers of Scout. Pick your like fellowship
We
of
need
the Scout.
we need someone we trust to go with them to prevent internal fights. If we were to do that, there'll be conflict.
I tell you who would be really good with that. Tao Chi would be really good at that.
Yeah, we could try.
Fine.
We could maybe suggest to Rosh to send one of his trusted vassals.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Marathon.
Maybe not Morgrim. He's
Do you want to chuck a
encouraged the
High Lord in there as well for the mates. So we've got a couple to spare.
On his litter.
I, I don't think that'll be good for scouting.
No.
All right. So yeah, I think Marathon's probably quite a good shout though.
Yeah.
So if we
Yeah.
assemble a scout group with people from both sides, together with Marathon.
Yeah. Are we going with this ad lib plan? Just the commanders on the wall.
We're just huddled together, like we turn around and we just huddle in a circle.
Like,
and just
fuck, what the
having
hell?
this conversation. Like, that went better than I thought.
Yeah.
Shit, we need an extra plan.
So I just be like that. Fucking nailed that speech, didn't I? Yeah.
So
Yeah, just not so much the follow up.
I'm glad you asked that, because that means, given that this is not kind of you guys consulting the group WhatsApp and relaying a plan that's been thought out. This is very much a off the cuff, on the fly, improvised plan. I'm going to need someone, whoever's leading this conveyance of a plan, to make a deception check in order to give this air of confidence that you have, that you're telling these people to get together, form an alliance and follow, and that you have a plan instead of just
as luck would have it, inspiration used. We actually had this conversation some time ago.
Cheating the system. Or rather cheesing rather than cheating.
Hey, no, and this is the purpose of the flashback, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Fair enough.
Yes. This is flashback to an hour ago. We actually had this conversation on the way to.
We had it. Did you not? We're not paying attention. We had it when we were in Rosh's little hideout.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what inspiration can be used for. So
Yeah.
Given that, I will let you roll deception with advantage, or persuasion, or performance, or with advantage, whichever stat is most advantageous, given that this is an actual plan now instead of a bullshit plan.
Plus
All
another
right.
D4.
And
All right, we'll go with
DC
persuasion.
the DC has been lowered as well.
Oh, just a 21. $25.
Okay, so you have a good, well thought out plan.
Good plan.
That way,
Faust.
they can see with their own eyes.
Bear in
I
mind,
we're
thought
already-
you were the evil one.
the plan that you've just said now, that is what you have communicated to all of these people. I'm not going to be that harsh. Don't have to stick to it verbatim. So the last question that someone says is someone at the back, or one of the spears. I've heard His Highness is back. What do we do? Is that true? What does that mean?
I'll leave that to you guys.
We don't know what that means yet. We hope he will take up his sword and fight Athelion like he did many years ago.
But he has been sleeping for some time, and we must all rally together to assist in his upcoming battle.
Ooh, like
And
it.
at the end of the day, it's the people that we're fighting for. To keep our cities safe.
It changes nothing. We fight for all mortals.
Okay, someone
We
give me a
fight for all
roll.
mortals, and we hope to have a powerful ally on our side.
We'd be like, are you still mortal? Yeah, you look a little bit different. I've not seen your kind before around here.
I feel like at the start of it, we're all kind of more or less like speaking like in turn and sync, whereas at the beginning we were like properly fumbling through it. Maybe not bad.
Yeah.
So someone give me a check of your choice that makes sense for that response.
First, you have the highest modifiers.
All right. Right, can I take
This
it
is
as
what
read that
face men are for.
you've guidanced again?
Oh,
Come on.
no need. No need.
Right.
All right, that's a 36.
So
Do you give him a little toot as well, like? Doo, 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 doo?
Actually, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. I think
The
I'd look
bardic
to
inspiration yourself.
bardic. Can I just like bardic inspiration? Just fucking let it rip, and just be like, lay down a ballad,
you can play some music.
like to proper G people up.
Oh,
No,
careful,
don't.
You can play some music.
No.
Who's
No.
a bard?
Bill.
Bards can play music.
Payments. I accept no payments.
No, that's not the Dave.
So everyone sees this rousing speech, and then Mephistopheles swing round his lute, ready to go, and just everyone else goes, "Whoa, no. Just put that down, just for now. Just put that."
When you leave the city, you can play the music. In the walls.
So all of that overall went very well. You You seem to have won round the commanders who are in your immediate vicinity, and they're all very. They feel the extra vigor as well from getting +2 AC. So they all seem like they are giving nods. A few of them are kind of like, a couple of them like fist to chest, and you also hear some trolls down who are still digging trenches, just turning back, going, "Roar!" They seem on your side. However, there is one lone, and you're quite lucky. It's only one. I didn't quite realise that the charisma modifiers were +13, but there is one individual who you see start taking a few steps back and then turning, and he turns towards his company. And
How far away is he?
everyone give me a perception check.
Nice.
Okay, so this is definitely heard by Rip and Wilfred, but not by Faust and Tenos. But Rip and Wilfred, you hear this guy goes, "Fuck this.
I cast banishment.
I follow orders. Let's light them up." We have not rolled initiative yet, because this guy is turning and running, and I'm going to put you on a different map and put some tokens down. It curves, but just kind of ignore that slightly. Let's put.
Can you get a spell in then before initiative or
No,
not?
you can't get a spell in before initiative.
It was going to be ridiculous anyway.
So
Rip turns back time 3 days.
I know. I was going to add a D8 to my initiative roll.
So there was a lot of
Like I
text for
need
that
it.
bardic inspiration. What does that actually do? No, that's insane. Yeah. The bardic inspiration, what does it actually do?
It does lots of things. It adds a 1d6 to everything broadly.
Oh, nice.
It's like pew pew.
So
Oh, he looks cool.
you're at this end. Let's not be moving tokens.
Sorry, I was trying to put them on squares.
So you see this guy turning, and he is, as you see him kind of singled out, he is kind of wearing a kind of ratty, more worn version of this uniform, and instead of having swords or spears or anything like that, this guy has just some beefy chains in his fist. And let's get some initiative up. It would be that one. So let's see how this goes. You can see that this guy has turned, and he's grabbed a lit torch, and he is heading towards a crude and manned trebuchet.
These rolls, man. Jeez.
They
Oh,
rolled
shit,
higher
nine.
than the guy, so
I rolled an 8.
Where the fuck is initiative gone? Same place it's been.
yeah. So everyone, make sure you got +2 to your armor class, and the 3 of you also have +5 to your max health.
Yeah.
The AC goes away when you get attacked. To say when you're hit or when you get attacked?
When you get attacked.
Until they're next attacked, yeah.
So yeah, this person is got a lit torch, running towards Trebuchet, and they are looking very much like they are going to essentially, with 2 of you hearing him say, light them up. He has full intention on firing some flamey things over towards this advanced vanguard of the Amson lot.
Oh fuck!
Which is 350 to 400 meters away, so it's very much in the range of a trebuchet. And I was very specific on those distances that I said. So that might cause some irritation. So there's a couple of ways you could play that, but let's see what you choose to do. So we have Lord Rip Van Winkle first.
Okay. Just trying to see if I'm reading this right.
Does it say kill all of the bad guys, make Rick sad?
Yeah. No, it's more. What about 10 foot? Okay.
Yes, the width of this wall, we might play a bit fast and loose depending on the situation with that, because I didn't have any great maps for city walls.
How wide's the trebuchet?
The trebuchet takes up essentially the trebuchet plus crew takes up the full width of the wall.
You happen to have haste by any chance? Anybody?
No.
No.
I don't have
Okay.
any spell slots.
Can these ramparts? Can we go through them? Can we go underneath them? Do you have to go around them?
You can go right through them.
Okay.
There are steps up to higher ground, if you wish, and also whatever things you might find present on city walls being prepared for a siege is there if you want to use kind of non-weapony things and stuff like that.
Okay. Right, so Rip is going to take 1 step forward. Can I from the top of the tier you'd be able to see the this whole area, right? The trebuchet, the guy. If I was up top,
So if you were up on top of the tower, then yeah, you'd be able to
Yeah.
see everything.
excellent.
Can you dimension door?
Yes, I can. That's not what I'm going to do. Another step.
If you
Bloop.
wanted to, I can create water.
So done 10 foot. Okay.
I'm making the assumption here as well that you are wanting Cairn to carry on babysitting the High Lords.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So Misty Step. Yep.
I'm going to use the remainder of the 20 movement to get to there. Then I am going to cast this on the trebuchet.
Ooh.
Okay.
Completely encase it.
Nothing can physically
Oh.
pass through the wall. It's immune to all damage and can't be dispelled by spell magic. It's injurious for all sorts. Nice. Okay, so let's draw that on. Very good. So, are you the radius of up to 10 feet? So are you walling off this trebuchet, or are you doming it? How are you doing it?
If it could fit in a dome, I'd probably attempt to make the whole thing. Probably attempt to cut off the whole thing, yeah.
It would fit in some of it. So if you dome it, it's completely encased on both sides, but the top of the trebuchet is sticking out, and so that might just get snapped by the wall of force. You might be down a trebuchet. There's 3 on the wall. This is the closest one.
You know what? I don't care.
Cool.
I'm
To be
gonna
honest,
snap
if
that
it's
trebuchet.
if it's broken, then it don't fire or anything.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we might need it to fight against Athelion, but that's a later kind of
Time
problem.
to fix
I
it.
mean,
Yeah, I
It's-
think not aggravating the army is better than losing a single trebuchet, right?
yeah, and Rip, I think, has the budget to be able to get it repaired.
You're a rich man, are you?
If I were a rich man.
Okay, good go. Wilfred.
So, because I'm so far away, I'm just gonna go 30 feet, dash 30 feet, and that's my turn.
Okay. Denos.
I will. So, is there a line of sight to this chappie?
Along the yellow arrow, yes. So if you stand there, you can definitely see all the way through to Commander Bastion Amoneth.
I'm going to take a shot at him with a great bow, heavy crossbow.
Go for it.
Oh, I missed.
Yep, that's a miss.
No problem.
Anything else you're doing?
Nah, I'll probably just yell, "Stop, you fool!"
Okay. So, is Wilfred on top or underneath the tower? You
Underneath.
carried on. Okay.
Just carry on running, yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna put.
I'm next in initiative. I don't know why.
Oh yeah, you got
Oh
9.
yeah, that is weird. Sorry.
I think you maybe sorted it. I was late rolling.
Oh. Okay.
Sorry.
That's all right. So. Yeah, Faust, you go.
So 5, 15, 20. You never guess what's going to happen here.
Oh, here we go.
Couple of Eldritch Blasts.
Whee!
They both hit.
Send them off the wall.
And also,
25.
if he could just be knocked back 20 feet, that would be awesome.
You want to knock him?
No, not
Wall.
closer. Not closer to the trebuchet.
We're
You know,
trying
kind
to
of
catch
like
up to him.
diagonally off the wall.
It's in like a
need to pull
direct
one.
line back.
You need the scorpion one.
Come in.
Yeah.
Get over here.
Okay, is that your go?
And let's say if I can move to like here. Ideally, want to be somewhere out of line of sight if possible, but closer.
It's worthwhile staying next to Tenos if you get a chance.
Yeah.
Okay, so on Bastion's turn, he's going to turn. He's going to yell at a command to his waiting unit, and he's going to turn and say in a voice that sounds not 100% natural, or slightly supernatural. He's going to turn and he's going to yell to his unit. As long as I'm alive, you follow my orders. Light the fuckers up. And you know from the original layout that his unit is quite near 2 other trebuchets. And so that will start a countdown. So that was a free action. He's going to strut. But he's going to start sprinting towards Wilfred. And it is Rip's go.
Can we just like manhandle this cunt off the edge? I mean, there's a big drop just there. It feels like it's absolutely gagging for it.
He's probably going to be like this ethereal thing that can fly or some shit.
Ah.
Did you just say as long as I'm alive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what my turn's going to be.
You shouldn't have said that. Okay. And I won't. I was about to dimension door to the other trebuchet, but there's a
Maybe a signal needs to be made. Perhaps.
It has to be Wilfred, doesn't it? So.
Yeah.
one sec. That's not bad. I don't actually know my spells.
If in doubt, Eldritch Blast.
Yeah.
He's not a warlock, alright? Or do you have Eldritch Blast?
What kind of warlock do you call yourself if you don't have Eldritch Blast?
Use Wall of Force again.
Eldritch
Sorry,
Blast?
Nearly done. Someone clicking on my spell list.
Yeah, sorry.
Just move it. Okay, got it. I'll try it. Fuck it.
Oh. Okay.
What the fuck?
The fuck is that?
He's got Disintegrate.
Cheeky bugger. Disintegrate. Target you see within range. A dexterity saving throw. Okay.
Takes 10d6 plus 40. What the fuck?
So I have advantage on this saving throw. So 19.
Yeah, that's
You
safe.
take half damage.
Oh wait, hold on. No. Just no.
Hmm? No?
That's not going to happen.
Why, pray tell?
Explain.
Where is it? If I force a creature to this one. Use this.
You can magically load your control as a reaction. Attack roll check for safety. It's a creature to reroll. Okay, I'll re-roll my dex saving throw at advantage.
Come on.
18.
Oh.
Wait.
You can use it
Wait,
twice.
wait. No, you can't use it twice, can you?
It says you can use this ability twice. Or do you regain it after a long
Yeah, but
rest?
I've not got 2 reactions.
Oh, I see.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
I
okay.
pass the dex check.
Yeah. I think I've only got spell DC of 17.
Okay. And it doesn't say anything here about taking half damage.
No.
No.
This is why I was tempted not to do this one because I haven't seen
right.
anything.
Good go though.
Jesus.
So, is that your go?
Wait, hold on. On a failed save. Oh yeah, sorry. That's failed save.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Wilfred, before your go, or as you start your go, you are within 30 feet of me and you can see me. Commander Bastion is going to take on the visage of of your most bitter enemy ever, living or dead. This is who you see in front of you.
Okay.
And I would like you to make a DC 14 Wisdom saving throw, please, or be frightened until the end of my turn.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, sorry, until the end of...
End of its turn.
The creature can see the devil. Yeah, if the creature can see the devil, it must says, or be frightened until the end of its turn. That's ambiguous.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're fine. Take your turn. You're not frightened.
All right. So Rosh, he's nearby, correct? Hiding amongst the crowd. Is that what am I correct in doing that?
You can. Rosh can be nearby. Yeah.
In earshot.
Yes.
So I would shout loud, "Captain, oh Captain, where is my captain? I found a head that needs to be rolled." In a very jovial manner.
Okay. And the response that you get is, "His company will feel Mogram's hammer."
Very well.
Okay.
Is that an action or
Nope.
in that case? He's within 30 feet of me now, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, 20 feet. All right. Well, I'll do what I was going to do in the first place, and I'll banish him.
Okay. So charisma saving throw, DC 16 at advantage. Do 23.
Oh, fuck off. Shit. What bonus actions do I have? I think most things are actions. Tell you what, I can cast my spiritual weapon.
Super.
It can do it 6 feet, so I'll cast it so it forms behind him. From my perspective. And so a big glowing green sword appears behind him. However, you'll notice that the sword is sheathed and it's tightly wrapped up. So it's as if like it wouldn't deal lethal damage if it was to hit somebody.
Okay, I can't find my sword token right this second.
That's fine. I can draw it.
But yeah, you doodle
draw
something in, and we'll say that's there. Cool. Tenos, you're not too far away from the unnerving mask. Is your go?
That unnerving matter, is that a reaction or is that just a constant aura?
That is a reaction to when a. Oh yes, actually, yeah, good point. It's a reaction, so I can only do that once per turn. Yeah, it's a reaction
of him
to.
walking.
It's a reaction to someone starting their turn within 30 feet and being able to see.
So I'm going to move to there. I'm going to kind of like walk up to like just in front of Wilfred just to make sure he's not being attacked, and just before doing anything else, just ask Bastian, who does he serve?
He is going to say, I serve orders. Orders I was given and I will follow through. I follow the eye. And Faust, you will hear in just the back of your mind. He's nice and chaotic. I like him. He's doing what I'd do. Shake things up a bit.
Tanaka will kind of pull out like the veil sword out of the sheath. Not like fully get out, but just enough to kind of show him, yeah, and just say, "You mean this eye?"
You'll feel my chains first. I'm going to take that back off you. I know whose sword that was. You are fucked.
You can try. And then as he says that, he will then unleash a torrent of fire towards him.
Okay, dexterity saving throw. 20.
Oh. You take 7.
Okay, plus 7. Okay. Is that your go?
That's my go.
Okay, Faust.
Okay, I say, I think let's move up to here, and then vicious mockery. Oh my god! It's a vicious mockery.
22.
And it's a tell me, Commander, for someone who follows orders with such blind obedience, why are you still here? You have no orders. Your commander is dead. 22.
The chief
22
dies, the order remains. And also, I'm gonna fuck shit up.
I think, okay, so if he could please Okay, could you please roll a 1d6?
Okay.
Epic. That 22 isn't a 22 though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're all secretly whipping out all those level 11 abilities now.
Yeah.
3.
That 22 is actually less than 17.
Okay. I will take that 1 damage. Well done, sir.
Yes.
There's disadvantage on the next attack
At disadvantage
roll.
on next attack.
Yeah. Next attack roll, not attack action.
Yeah.
Um,
And that is the end of the turn.
okay. So, so I'm going to make. He's going to make 2 attacks with his chains. He's going to. Well, he's going to move forward first. Actually, you viciously mocked him, so he's going to go to you, to you. And these have reach. So he's going to make 2 attacks with your chains. Sorry, this one is at disadvantage. 13, 22.
Yeah, 22 will hit.
And so you also lose your +2 AC. So you take 13 slashing, and the target, and you are grappled. So you are restrained, and you take 2d6 piercing damage at the start of your turn. Yep, and that's his go. Rip Van Winkle.
Yeah. What's he gonna do?
Although you're with, I think I'm going to. Nah, you're too high wisdom. I'm not going to use my reaction on you. Oh no, wizards are intelligence rather than wisdom. Yeah. Unnerving mask, please. So can you please make a DC 14 wisdom saving throw?
Wisdom.
You pass. You're fine.
Cool. Who's coming up? Wilfred against him, 10 up. Okay, they should F him up.
You've got 2 down the bottom and 2 at the top.
Yeah, I'm trying to think whether to damage him or to line him up for damage.
I would. Don't know.
You know what? Actually, the damage isn't that different that I do. I'm going to line him up for damage. That's what I'm going to do.
Oh, I never used my bloody spiritual weapon to attack. I didn't realize I could attack the same turn I summoned it. Oh, I'm dumb.
Oh, could you?
Is it not an action to just summon it and a bonus action to use it?
Says when you cast a spell, you make a melee attack spell against a creature within 5 feet of the weapon. As a bonus action on your turn, you can move the weapon up to 20 feet and repeat the attack.
Wait a minute. That's not a spell. That's a cantrip. Oh, well, yeah, it's a spell. Okay.
Intelligence saving throw. Okay. Intelligence. Oh, it's my lowest one. But with advantage. Fails.
Cool. Okay. So he'll take 3d6. Well, psychic damage. And he's now, every time there's a saving throw from him, he has to roll a d4. Negative d4.
Or take 1d6 damage and subtract 1d4 from the next saving throw it makes before the end of your next turn. Okay, interesting. Put that back. Cool.
Oh, and he'll probably move just a little bit backwards around. Just out of sight, I think, for a minute. Only ever so slightly.
Okay, so while this is happening, you can see that his former unit is, well, his current unit, not his former unit, is starting to feel the effects of lots of sneaky attacks happening from within its ranks. They do still seem to be heading towards the nearest trebuchet, the ones that aren't engaged in combat, but they are being thinned down.
How far are they from it? Like yardage?
They they seem to be slowly making their way there. They're about a quarter of the way there at the moment.
Okay.
Wilfred.
Okay. Wilfred is going to stand at the front there. Take Rip's spot. I'm going to cast Blade Ward on myself.
I think
Okay.
you're down anyway. I'm above.
Sorry?
I think Wilfred's down below, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. I'm wondering if I'm standing at the front
Yeah.
line. We were up top with you.
Yeah, Rip's up top.
Right. Then I'm going to move my spiritual weapon and actually attack this time, rather than not doing it. 22 hit.
It does.
Yeah.
7.
There were 7 force damage. And I don't get anything else, I don't think.
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Faust, did you take the damage off from my chains?
His health bar isn't visualized. The 91's Wilfred.
Oh, that's right. I'm
29
looking
is
at. I'm looking
10
at Wolf.
off.
Yeah. Sorry, ignore me. Okay, so that was Wilfred's go. No, it wasn't. That was just your spiritual weapon. Oh, spiritual weapon, Blade Ward. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my go.
Tenos.
So I'm going to engage Bastion. I'll move to there. So I'm still next to Wilfred if he wants protection. And I'm going to start swinging. Oh,
That's a crit.
thank you. And again.
And which of your many swords are you using for this?
I'm not using the Bale sword. I'm using the original sword I got from Forge.
Okay. Did we say that was magical?
Nope, not magical.
Good. Thank you. 19 does hit.
Oh, wow, that's some good rolls.
Well, not for non-magical weapons, maybe not.
I mean,
And then
looking at your rolling, it says +1 magic.
that's it's +1 generally, right?
+1 doesn't necessarily mean it's magic.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm just saying when I'm hovering over the formula, it says magic in brackets. I don't know what that's from.
It's just from the stats of the sword. I mean, it's +1 strength basically. And
+4
just-
strength, +3 mod, +1 magic. And you hover over the 15.
I'll change that. I'll move the 1. So the 1 is the magic bonus, but it's not actually magic bonus.
Oh, right, yeah.
And the 16 hit.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Okay, just good hits. Faust, first off, can you take 7 piercing damage? You are still restrained.
You're muted, Dave.
Ace, how do I make break free of that? Is it end of my turn?
So it is a DC 14 athletics or acrobatics check to break free of my chain.
Okay, can I do that now?
That'll be your action. Yeah.
That'll be my action.
Yeah.
Oh, that's annoying. That is. Okay.
If he's pushed back,
Well, be out of reach then, right?
he might pull you.
You will come with me if you are pushed back.
He's a little bitch. He's fine.
Both hit.
And if I could move him back as well. So the first one will take him to the corner. And then the second one will move him a further 10 feet. So I don't know what that looks like.
You come with me.
Slam down to the level below.
And then I'd say, I see you take after your boss. Spineless
That was
and just as obsessed with eyes.
That was the first. That was the first pushback.
Uh-oh.
The second pushback, because I believe you said that he was pushed back on both.
I think I said he'd be pushed back on the first, and then we'll see what happens on the second.
Okay, you're pushing him back.
Yeah.
Both did. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm making the assumption that there's some kind of parapet wall, so I'm assuming it'll be like nudged up. I don't know.
There is,
I'll
but
take
there's
it.
battlements, and you are chained to him, so he is choosing to allow himself to go over.
Ah, excellent. Great. Master!
So he is over, dangling, and you are being pulled by these spiked chains. So I'm going to say that now, in this state, these chains are doing maximum damage to you
Okay.
per turn. And you hear a laugh from this guy. As it is now his turn. So he's going to animate some more chains. So because we've established that you've got the high ground here, so these buildings, these towers are real. The chains that are holding up the doors, they're going to be animated. 4 of them. Each has an AC of 20 and 20 hit points, resistance to piercing damage, and immunity to psychic thunder damage. So, I'm going to say that this is his action to do it, but here, and here,
Spell.
and here, and here, dangling from the doors. The chains holding up the doors are now animated chains that he can also use and control when he next attacks.
Ace.
That's his go. Rip Van Winkle.
I mean, the chain that's grappling Faust, is that animated magically?
It doesn't seem to be.
No.
Can Rip see the sort of progress they're making towards the other trebuchet?
Yes, yeah.
And is it looking, it's starting to get a bit worrisome?
They are, so they're still according to the count. They're still rounding about a quarter of the way there.
Okay, just a quarter.
Yeah.
Right. Move 10 here. Nope. Where's my spells?
So Wilfred and Tenos, for the purposes of planning for your turn, you now can't see Commander Bastion because he is over the other side of a wall.
Yep.
Okay. I think I'll cast Necrotic Touch.
Chill touch.
Chill Touch, sorry.
Hey, make a ranged spell attack.
Yeah, for some reason it's not coming up on my ranged spells. Chill Touch is. Oh no, it is Chill Touch.
It is chill touch.
Can you dimension door?
14 does not hit, I'm afraid.
No.
Okay. You're not a disadvantage because he's dangling.
No, he put himself in this position quite willingly.
Okay.
And from his perspective, he's holding on to the chains. He's got the upper hand. Probably not the first time this guy's done this. The people who are appointed commanders are the most skilled tacticians and fighters.
Okay. Rip is gonna move out the way of these chains, I think. Maybe here.
Okay. Wilfred.
Okay.
These chains around are kind of snaking and moving. They're not attacking you right now, so moving away from them. You don't have to disengage. They will not do opportunity attacks against you, but they are kind of writhing and moving around and spiky.
Okay. So, how much health does Faust have? I can't see it right now.
56 out of 76.
Okay.
However, I suspect that might change in the next round.
Yeah, considering the you do max damage. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna move over to next to Faust.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna move my spiritual weapon down here, but I wanted to attack the chains that are holding him aloft.
Okay. So I'm going to put this here just so that you can see the AC and hit points of the chains.
Oh, Jesus.
Make it fair. Just so you know, I'm
The
not
chains
doing
that
anything
he's-
nefarious.
The chains that he's using, yeah?
Oh, sorry. No, you're right. No, they are the animated chains. Okay. No, that's different.
They've got an AC of 100. 1,000 health.
Yeah, they're the ones that he's got Faust wrapped up in, are the ones I'm
His
attacking.
weapon.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, his weapon.
Yep, I have their AC here. It is in the DM screen, so it's canon.
Okay, so that's spiritual
And it is lower
weapon.
than the animated chains.
So,
Oh,
26.
26 does hit.
And it's
9
9 force damage.
Let me just make a note of that.
So that's my bonus action.
Yeah.
And then, fuck it, I'm gonna hit the chains that are up. Oh. How much health are you on again? Sorry, I can't... Oh, you
56.
said you put it on now.
56.
Right. Not first attack that hit you. What would be the max damage? Can you survive one attack? Because I don't want to heal you, like... Actually. I only have 30 spell slots.
That sounds like so many more than me.
Screw it. Yeah, I'm gonna hope that maybe I could do a bit more damage, so I'm gonna hit it with my staff.
Does not
Which
seem
actually
to
has-
have does not seem to have any impact. Tenos.
Never mind. I need to do my staff. It has a name now.
Seeing the scurrying going over here, sounds that way. A big sigh, and just kind of move over to the edge as well. Looking over the edge, what is directly below? Is that the kind of bridge?
It's
main gate?
just field. It's just ground.
How?
It is a height that would hurt.
Okay.
In fact, let's just go height of medieval castle wall at main gate. Okay, 20 feet high.
Okay. That's not that bad.
But the stronger 30 feet. Sorry. And this is the So this is the walls of the stronger castles, capital city, typically measured to 30 feet in height.
So just to jump straight off onto Bastion, but I feel that would just spread
I did
out
think of that.
into.
I mean,
Yeah.
I am.
Just like garrot me.
Yeah, it's like double, triple the damage.
So I mean, jumping on him. There's the things to consider are he's taken a decent amount of damage, the fall damage required, plus if you are on top of him, you would take some damage, but also you'd have to consider what might happen to Faust. So those are the things you'd have to weigh up and think about.
I think for now, I mean, I'm not going to be my character, but I'm going to just attack the chains as they're kind of tense over the parapet and just basically try and break them with the sword. The same way.
How are you going to get to them?
Oh, can I go this side?
There's a bit of a tower there.
Oh,
Bit of
okay,
wall,
maybe not then.
You can, but it would be harder.
Go just hit the chains that are on Faust.
No, I reckon you Tarzan it.
Oh, what? Sorry.
Tarzan. Grab one of the flailing chains and just like swing down.
Oh.
It would look
Did
cool.
I? Oh. You know what? Sod it. Yeah. So the chain that's by Faust.
Yeah.
I will attempt to grab it,
Yeah.
abseil down the side, over the edge, and strike Bastion with my other free hand.
Yeah, love it. Okay, so you absolutely can do that. You do take 6 piercing damage, just because you are willingly grabbing onto a spiked chain. But it's not a huge amount of damage. But you can swing down, and you are able to attack the chains that Bastion is holding onto.
I'm not going to attack the chains at this point. I'm going to attack Bastion.
You're attacking Bastion. Oh, perfect. I'm gonna say that because this is gutsy, you have advantage on the first strike that you do. Yeah.
From that 6 piercing, do I lose my 2 plus 2 AC?
Yes.
Okay. That's fine. Okay.
25 hits.
Right, let's go again.
22 hits. And 20 hits.
You can attack 3 times now.
I can attack 3 times.
Shit.
Fighters.
They are some damn good hits. He is looking severely on the ropes, so to speak.
Okay.
And you are hanging by one of his animated chains.
Uh-oh. Have you got enough movement to come back up?
Well, I mean, I think I've been quite liberal with my movement. So let's say if I move to the chain, that was 20 foot.
Oh yeah, you
And
are done for movement. If you are
Yeah,
swinging
yeah.
to get advantage for the attack as well. The verb you used was to Tarzan.
Yeah, Thanos will accept. He'll have to Rochambeau it when he gets a chance.
So you take Faust takes 12 piercing damage right off the bat.
Nice.
And what would you like to do?
I will. Okay, I'm gonna proper be like, fuck it, I'm pissed off. So I'm gonna just like shake out like these flame blades, like full on, like just a couple of horns, and then I will attack. I'm not sure how that would work though with the attack. That's the only thing.
It's Bastian and Tenos just looking up at Faust.
Melee spell attack. Is that just? Should I cast? Should I do a Eldritch Blast and then just roll 3d6?
Melee spell attack. So melee spell attack would be your a d20 plus your proficiency bonus plus your spell casting ability modifier, so plus your charisma modifier.
Sorry, plus 220 plus
Proficiency
charisma
plus
plus
charisma.
Especially on your spell sheet at the top right, you've got spell attack bonus.
Oh, do I? Oh yes, I do. Easy peasy.
So it's d20 plus that.
20 hits.
Are you hitting the chain or in the guard?
Oh, I'm him.
And this is fire damage.
Yes, I guess so.
3d6 fire damage.
There you go, 5 damage. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, you motherfucker. And that there be turn.
Okay.
Oh, so good.
So Bastian is going to try and pull you off the wall.
Okay.
So you are restrained. You have disadvantage on dexterity saving throws, but ability checks are fine. So let me just double check. Actually, no. He's going to. They have reach. So, so he's going to re-pull his chains around you and attack with his chains on you again, at advantage because you are restrained by him. So 17.
A 17 will hit.
So you take another 14 slashing. But you also actually one's being occupied by Tenos. So Tenos, you take 14 slashing.
Yikes.
5, 10, that was reach, and Wilfred, 22.
Oh,
You take 16 slashing.
where's my... No, I didn't use one, did I? On my last turn.
And that
No, it's the end of
is...
the turn, yeah. 16.
And you're gonna... And Faust is gonna take one more from the top chain. 12. Doesn't hit.
That's a miss.
I've assumed in all of that my protection does not work for shit in that scenario.
I
Yeah,
think... Is this
Protection
a
is you hold
protection
up a
where you are
shield.
able to step in and take the hits?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you are not in a position to be able to do that. Lord Rip. They're about
Yeah.
halfway to the trebuchet now.
Halfway.
Halfway.
Can you dimension door?
Okay.
This guy is looking very unhealthy.
Kill him. Kill him.
Shooker.
Hold on. Is Tenos hanging over the edge as well then at this point?
Don't worry about Tenos. Tenos is fine.
No, he's not fine.
He
Right,
is.
so cast on Tenos.
Okay.
And you know what? At this point, he's not going to move away from sight. He's going to stay, and he's just going to nod and turn.
Okay, Wilfred.
Sorry. Gonna attack the chain again. The weapon with my spiritual weapon. 18, does that hit it?
No.
Oh wow, that's some high AC.
It's a
weapon.
19. So in the player's handbook / DM screen, this iron / steel, AC 19.
Oh, damn. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to use my action to attempt to free Faust from the chains.
Okay, so that would be let's say you would have to beat the. So I'm not going to let you use acrobatics like dex stuff. It's going to have to be strength because you are trying to pry them off him.
Athletics.
So DC 14.
Oh.
You do it. So, as Faust is freed from this chain, Bastion begins to fall, and as a reaction, he is going to try and grab hold of Tenos. And I'm going to say that it's going to be a high DC, so it's a DC 17 for a Dex saving throw to grab onto Tenos. And he misses, and he falls to 30 feet. And as he falls, you hear the words, "Light the bastards up!" But then he hits the ground just with a. And the chains around which were writhing and kind of aimlessly slashing, they go limp. And they kind of go back to their original form. And Tenos, you would be in quite a lot of interesting trouble right now if you didn't have a wizard who had the foresight to cast Levitate on you.
Just floating there right now.
So you now have one less commander in your forces, and as this has been happening, you did it quickly enough that the rest of his company no longer did not reach another trebuchet. So all-out war has not been triggered, due largely to the ingenious use of Wall of Force.
That was really cool.
That was excellent.
You have one fewer commander and one fewer unit in the Hammer forces, but you have averted for now all-out war as Commander Bastion falls to his death outside the gates, and that seems like a pretty good place to call it.
Yeah, awesome.
Nicely done.
Brilliant. Nice.
Awesome. Well done, guys. Lots of interesting
very
stuff
much.
happening, and we will see where your various plans unfold. One thing I forgot to say is one of the things that I can say that you can have done without having to use a callback. On the way to the walls, you could have sent your message to Gorath about the package. So that can be
Great.
going on.
Okay, awesome. So that's primed.
Yes.
But,
However,
okay.
because it was on the way to the wall, Cairn refuses to go.
ooh, okay.
But Gorath doesn't seem too upset by this, given your other promises. Are we all good for next Thursday?
Think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, let me just double check.
Excellent.
Yeah,
I say,
so
well, I'm assuming we're all good for next Thursday, but we're in a period of uncertainty, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When is the big day due?
Well, the actual due date is the 4th, but last Saturday and last Thursday we had a hell of a lot of movement and pain and random stuff. And one of Sarah's mates from like baby college, it was like a week ahead of her, pregnant, and she ended up giving birth at home on the bathroom floor, and the whole thing was like an hour start to finish.
Yeah,
A second kid. Yeah, exactly. I mean, everything's fine and healthy, but it was a bit like squeaky bum time. But
Given that if the due date's the 4th, and we are exactly 2 weeks ahead of that now, like we're in a period where it's not even considered early anymore. So we will
no, it is, yeah.
we will think about contingencies for Tenos if you are waylaid.
Yeah, exactly. I'll put together a like a what if scenario.
Yeah.
Do a flowchart.
Yeah. What will Tenos do? Yeah.
Yeah. I won't be around on the 5th of September,
when's that?
as I'll be in Bristol on that day at Stewart's, then go to Thorpe Park the next day for my birthday.
Wee,
Cool.
nice.
Thought part with Stuart.
And you and Baz.
It's nice. It's nice to know, isn't it? It's like just with Stuart. Yeah. Let's
No, I'm going to be at Stewart's on the 5th. That's why I can't D&D.
Cool. Awesome.
I don't think I can do the 5th either.
Well,
Ooh,
thanks
that's
for
a
moving
war,
it,
but what cost?
and maybe we can move it then
Yeah.
that week.
Yeah, we'll
I
see.
mean, who knows? Athelian's a little bitch. He might be dead by the 4th.
Keep saying that.
29.
Keep saying that. That will only make things easier for you.
Oh,
I mean, if it gives us
Right.
less choice, we might get through the sessions quicker.
Yes, yeah, you magically teleport to his head.
Suicide Pact.
Oh, actually, how high up's his head?
I can't wait to see what happens when you get to that. But if you get to that, but yeah, for the time being, I will bid you all adieu.
Thank you very
Good
much,
night.
Mr. Rick.
Thanks again,
Cheers,
Rick.
guys.
Right.
Catch you later.
Cheers.
Bye.